So we're going to look at binary trees in Python, and that means how they're implemented in Python, or at least one way of implementing them. So we know that a binary tree is a tree structure where we have nodes that contain data, and then each of those nodes can have at most two children. Sometimes no children, or we think of their children as being nuns, or they have one child, like this guy. Sorry, this one has two, and then this one only has one because we think of its other child as a nun. So how do we implement that in Python? So the idea is that this solution is going to be recursive in nature. So we'll see that how that works when we talk about how we kind of search through a tree. But the thing we want to get across is that the tree, instead of thinking of this as a tree, we're going to think of it that this is a tree, just the node and potentially its two children. Or let's say it always has two children, but when one starts, they're both nuns. So in that case, this is a tree, but its children are also tree objects, and its children are tree objects, and so on. So that's different than thinking of that this is a node object, and this is a node, and this is a node, and somehow the tree is all of them with this being a root. So maybe sometimes some people think of this whole thing being a tree. It has a root, and then each of these are some sort of collection of nodes. We're going to look at something a little bit different where each element in there is a tree. It's just that we can keep track of the special one that is the root. So what that looks like is we want to have this idea of a class called tree. And so we want to think about what a tree has to have or what it has to hold. So my tree is going to have, we can call it cargo or data or something. So it has data, which could be anything really. It could be strings, could be integers. For our example, these are going to be ints. And then it has a left child, so we can call it left child or just left or just right. So you might see something like this, left child. And the left child is going to be another tree object. And the right child is also going to be a tree object. And that's all that it has to be in terms of properties of the tree. Now there's more things we could add. So nodes could keep track of their weight or the number of children or lots of different things if we were building something a little bit more complicated. But for this part, that's enough. And so the next part we want to say is, okay, so what does this tree have to be able to do? Or what are its functions? Well, we want some sort of way of saying, like, for now, let's just think of, we want to be able to add, actually, if we're keeping this with my example matching up, let's call it insert. So the idea of we have a tree that starts with one node and it adds multiple nodes as children, or we say like here's a tree that's existing and this new node has to kind of come in somewhere and fit into the tree. So then we think about, so insert, it has to take in some sort of, it has to take in a tree object to add. And that means that, if this is an existing tree we're talking about this node as the root node, and you said add this node to that tree, it would take all of its children with it. And we actually want that. It's a way of like combining trees, potentially to some degree. So an insert method also takes in a tree as well. So it has to be an object as well. Now we could do it a little bit differently where insert takes in something like an integer, in which case that part would first have to build a tree. So we'd have to take the integer, put it in a new tree object itself, and then, do one of these guys here and add it. So there's kind of different ways of looking at it, but that's kind of the basis of what this has to happen. Now, what makes it kind of more recursive in terms of what we're going to do before we look at the code is this idea that the cases. So suppose we make a tree. So we're going to do something like t1, equals a tree. And at that point, maybe we give it a node. I don't know, give it a 10. So here's our tree. Now, by default, we should think about as we're building it, let's just build these as none values. Because when we call a constructor for this, we're going to have to maybe give something there. as opposed to leaving them, like not initializing them. So let's give them nones for now. And then, okay, so what happens next? So what happens, for example, if we have our tree of 10 here, and we say something like t1 dot insert, let's say a tree of 20. And again, we might use this example here where, we use an integer and it builds the tree, but that doesn't matter for now. So we think of what has to happen. So it has this tree node, or it's building a new tree node. It would have to go in and think, okay, do you have a child? In this case, the answer is no. And so it specifically says, do you have a right child? The answer is no. So if no, it's pretty straightforward what has to happen, which is that instead of a none, its right child becomes this 20. And then that 20 there, when it got created, it would have had these kind of two children of nones. And then the next example where things start to get interesting, right, is when we say something like t1, so t1 dot insert, and we were saying tree, and we gave it a 15. So we want this algorithm to work where we would say, okay, 15, you should be to the right of the 10. And then somehow we have to say, well, 20, we already have a child, so we can't replace this, but we want to be able to then ask the 20, oh, what about you? Do you have room to be the left child in this case? And we'd say, yeah, I don't have a left child, so you can become my left child there. So here's where this bit of this idea of recursion first kind of we see it, where we have a kind of a question like, when you tell a node, so I'm being told to insert some tree, right? So we'll do something like this actually, where we say, give it a better name than tree. So we'll call it node, I guess, but it is a tree. So we'll say tree node. So what you would say, with ignoring like the fact that we already have it's the thing I'm talking about, this original tree that I'm talking about, is the one that's being added to. So in the case above, it's the 10 node, right? So we're talking about this function belonging to this node, and we'd say insert. And again, we're bringing in some example of this 20 node. So the way we think about it is we have this insert happening, and we would say, basically, the first question would be like, is nodes data less than mine? And if so, it belongs as a left. So this is just a very generic one, right? Else, it belongs somewhere to the right. So that's kind of the default. So I get this node 20. So if the 20 less than mine, in this case it's not, else it's going to be the right. So the next question is it my right child, or is it my potentially right child's right child, or further generations down? So the way we want to think about expanding this isn't just go right. So I'll just say it else it's right. So I can say if my right child is none, right, then I would set right child to node, right? Like, now you're my right child, done. Else, so if you can't be my right child because, potentially something like this, I already have a right child. So then if that doesn't happen, then I would say, okay, so I would do something like this. I would say right child, which is a tree. All my children are a tree. I would say right child dot insert a node. So it's not totally recursive in the true sense here, but what we're actually happening is the 10 says to the 20, it first asks, do I have room to be my right child? And it says no, because I already have a right child at 30. So what do? I just give the 20 to you and make it your problem. And then if this tree was kind of something that kind of branched out for lots and lots of branches and was very large, and it doesn't really matter how I'm drawing this, but in the case of the 20, what would be happening is this would say, well, you're bigger than me, but I don't have room for you, so it passes it to 30. And the 30 says, well, you should be my left child, but I already got one, so I'll add it. I'll say, hey, you insert it. And then this one says, well, no, maybe it's too big. So it says, well, I already have a right child, but I'll send it to you. And this one says, no, it's smaller than me, but I already have a left child, so I'll tell my left child to add it. And eventually this one says, hey, you're bigger than me, and I don't have a child, so 20 goes there. So we're consistently just passing it along. And it is recursive because what's going to happen is these insert methods, in terms of how this runs in memory, is that our insert methods are doing something like this, where we're running an insert function, and then it calls another insert function without closing. So it's open in memory, and then this next one opens an insert function, and then it calls the next one, calls an insert function, starts one for this node, and then this node, and then this node. They all keep opening in memory until eventually the last one says insert the 20, and it finally does it. So it says, yeah, I'm done. So then this one collapses, and then this one's done, and then this one's done, and then this one's done, and then this one's done. And they all kind of collapse together. But at some point, they were all opening in memory, in a very small amount of memory in this case, because they're just these small functions. But that's kind of the recursive part, where we keep passing along the element and say, well, I don't know, it can't be my child, but it should be my right child somewhere, or at least a descendant to my right. And it keep passes it along until it finds a node that can actually have it become its child here, and either take its right or its left or wherever it belongs. So this chunk of pseudocode here, the reverse would be true for left. If you're less than me and you belong to my left, first I would ask, do I have a left child? If I don't have one, then you're my new left child. If not, then I tell my left child, hey, you take this and deal with it, so to speak. So there is a sacrifice potentially of memory, but the default is when we actually code this, it becomes pretty straightforward. So just a straight insert bit of code looks like this. So here's my init function, which is super boring, where I called it data left and right. And so when a tree gets made, remember it's just an individual node, its data is whatever you send it. So you give the number 8, that's its data. None are values we give for its left and right children. So it's pretty boring. The insert is where things get interesting. So hopefully the pseudocode made sense, because this is all it is, and it translates really well. So I ask, like in this case, I'm actually asking about going right first. So I say if self.data, and that basically means like that I have any data. So I would ask, like if my data, like if I'm holding a value as opposed to being like empty. Okay, so I say if self.data. So if I have data as in my like node, then I'm going to add it. If not, this is the part I didn't put in our pseudocode, then you're becoming my value. So basically, if I'm an empty node and I'm being told to insert the number 10, it should become mine because I'm empty. Otherwise, if we're adding things to a node that has values in it, it asks, are you going to go to the right? So if data is, so we're talking about to the right. So we're saying if data is bigger than my current node and it belongs this way, then I ask, do I have none as a child? So I don't have a right child, then you are now going to be my data. So I'm taking in a number here. So I'm taking in 30, not a tree node. So if this 30 gets passed to this node, the 30 comes in and it says it belongs to the right. If I don't have a child, so equals none, then I make a new tree node, a new tree, with the 30 there, it gets built. Okay, now in an example, kind of the alternative is I have nodes already there and I give it the 30. So the 30 comes in, it says 20, I'm being added to this tree here. So that's greater than 20. So it goes, this is not true. So it doesn't add it as my right child. It says to my right child, or in this case, this one's right child, it says, hey, you insert it. And then the function starts again, right? So this function runs kind of like inside this function and says, okay, now 25. Do you have data? Yeah, because you're 25. Is 30 bigger than you? Yep, it is. Okay, so we're here. Do you have a child, for your value? And it says, oh, no, I don't have a child. And it says, all right, great. Now I'm going to make the new tree node and add it as your right child. And this process of, do you have a child? Yes. Do you have a child? Yes. Do you have a child? Yes. And it kind of keeps building. Can go on for a long time, obviously. And that keeps it simple. Like it has that memory problem, like we said, potentially, but it keeps our code very simple because that's all it is for writing right children. And then the example here, that's all it really is for writing left is the exact reverse. So essentially just inserting a tree, pretty straightforward of just being able to add nodes. It does nothing else special at this point, can't even print. Just looks like that.